Tonight on To The Point, an ABC 10 exclusive.
Everything that unfolded with the company, there's still a lot of questions.
Out more than $100,000, an Orangevale family's ADU project was abandoned. After our story aired, how they were able to get their project done. A major vote tonight in the Delta Tunnel project. What new funding could mean moving forward. New details tonight about the man suspected of killing United Healthcare's CEO, his possible motive. And an uptick in parking meter vandalism, what the Sacramento Police Department says they're doing about it. Good evening, as always. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell, and we start tonight with an update to a story that we first brought to you on ABC 10. An Orangevale family spent their savings on building an ADU for their family member, only to find out that more than $100,000, the $100,000 that they gave that company called Anchor Tiny Homes, would leave them with an unfinished project. Anchor Tiny Homes closed and filed for bankruptcy earlier this year, but there is some good news tonight. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen is joining us now to explain in an ABC 10 exclusive. And Jeannie, we're very happy about this story, right?
Well, Alex, after our story first aired, the family tells us that a lot of people were contacting them wanting to help. And tonight, the family gives us an exclusive look at their now finished project, all thanks to kind-hearted people.
Will you walk through the house with us?
Sure.
On this December morning,
Is this your new kitchen?
Sarah Schumann and her father-in-law were all smiles in his newly finished ADU.
It's really hard to put it into words, how thankful that we are as a family for this to come to fruition.
We first met this Orangevale family in July 2024.
Oh, I'm getting frustrated as heck.
Schumann hired Anchored Tiny Homes and paid the company more than $100,000, but their project was never completed.
I couldn't get an engineer or anybody from Anchored Tiny Homes to come out and take a look at it.
Schumann says after ABC 10 aired her family's story, people began reaching out.
I think it was the following day I was contacted by Steve Tinkersley, and he kind of guided me through what should happen next.
That was an opportunity to be able to step in on this project and restore some faith in contractors and show that we are actually here to help people and improve people's lives.
The National Association of the Remodeling Industry, or NARI, is a resource and networking group for people in the construction industry. Steve Tankersley is the vice president of the Sacramento chapter. He wanted to use his connections and resources to help the Schumann family.
Got in here, we knocked it out in about 13 weeks from start to finish. It ended up costing roughly $130,000 to complete the project. That was with the generous donations we have. Again, we had about $100,000 in donations.
One of those donors, David's Plumbing.
We know what it's like to be taken advantage of by a company, and after seeing so many others in the Scammed by Anchored Tiny Homes Facebook group, it kind of just felt like the right thing to do.
David's Plumbing says Anchored Tiny Homes hired them in May to do $14,000 worth of plumbing work. 7 months later, they still have not been paid. Regardless of their own grievances, King says he was more than happy to be a part of this project.
It seemed like they had already spent so much money and lost so much, and really we had time to give. So it just seemed like a good thing to do, to give back to the community. The
community built from many people feeling betrayed by Anchored Tiny Homes. Over the past few months, the company went out of business, and the CEO and COO, Colton and Austin Paulus, filed for bankruptcy.
Everything that unfolded with the company is, there's still a lot of questions.
Anchored Tiny Homes used to be headquartered right here in this Fair Oaks Business Center, and their name used to be displayed right there on that sign. And now the Contractor State License Board says that they have revoked the company's license back in November, and they can't apply for a new one for at least another 5 years. The company's CEO, Colton Paulus, did not respond to ABC 10's request for comment, but he has been active on social media, writing this public Facebook post saying in part, "Nothing illegal was done. We simply grew too fast, scaled too quickly, and were not properly capitalized to support the growth." He says, "I wish it never happened. And I'm not a victim, I'm an overcomer."
I think that he's very far removed from the entire situation. He doesn't realize the impact of what he has done.
Despite ongoing financial issues with Anchored Tiny Homes, Schumann's father-in-law says he is looking forward to getting his life back on track in his now complete new home.
A little independence, make a nice little patio, sit out here, have a coffee in the morning. I'm looking forward to it.
Sarah Schumann tells me she was able to save more than $96,000 to complete the ADU on her property because of all the help from NARI. The Contractors State License Board tells me if the Pauluses decide to reapply for a license, they would be subject to additional requirements like a disciplinary bond as a condition of reinstatement.
Coffee on the patio. Now that sounds nice.
That does sound nice, yeah.
Now, for people that are still, dealing with this, clients that are still looking for help, is there anything that they can do? Who should they turn to?
Well, Alex, there are hundreds of clients that are involved in this bankruptcy filing, and the Sacramento DA's office tells us that they are still taking Anchor Tiny Homes cases, and the Attorney General's office is referring all these people to the DA's office. The bankruptcy case involving Anchor Tiny Homes owners is still ongoing, and it's working its way through the court system.
Yeah, and Jeannie has been covering this, so you already know. We'll keep you updated with the very latest. Jeannie, thank you for the update. We appreciate it. And just wrapping up in Sacramento, the swearing-in ceremony, for Sacramento's new mayor and city council members. This is video from the ceremony in city council chambers. Along with the new mayor, Kevin McCarty, 4 city council members are taking the oath of office. We have Roger Dickinson, Phil Pluckybaum, Eric Guerra, and Mai Vang. We will have more on the ceremony tonight on Late News Tonight at 11. And ABC 10's Chris Thomas actually sat down with outgoing mayor Darrell Steinberg to discuss his 8-year tenure in the city. You can catch that interview right now on our free ABC 10 Plus app, wherever you stream. A bomb threat forced the evacuation of the Sutter County Courthouse in Yuba City this morning. People within a half-mile of the courthouse were asked to shelter in place. Investigators say 3 notes were found at the courthouse, the sheriff's public information office, and detective's office. The sheriff's office believes they all came from the same person but have not released their name. The court was able to resume around 11:15 this morning. Turning now to the murder investigation of United Healthcare's CEO, the mother of the suspected shooter, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, filed a missing person report for her son back in November, according to 2 law enforcement sources. And it comes as Mangione was back in a Pennsylvania court today as authorities in New York City worked to take him back there. Mangione was arrested Monday and charged with murder in the shooting of Brian Thompson. Mangione today struggling with police officers as he was brought to court for an extradition hearing, yelling out to the cameras.
Completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
According to a confidential assessment of the crime described to ABC News by the NYPD Intelligence Bureau, Mangione considered the killing to be a, quote, symbolic takedown of United Healthcare over perceived corruption and, quote, power games. The assessment is based in part on the suspect's writings. Mangione allegedly described himself as the first to face United Healthcare with such brutal honesty. Next, on to the point, a wildfire forcing evacuations and threatening homes. Why the flames move fast overnight.
We're also tracking big weather impact headlines, including an active weather pattern shift, changing mountain conditions, and periods of heavy rain.
Plus, an uptick in parking meter thefts and vandalism, why it's now costing taxpayer dollars. Tonight, mandatory evacuations remain in place for parts of Malibu due to a wildfire fueled by powerful Santa Ana winds. The Franklin fire started overnight Monday and is now more than 3,000 acres. At least 1 home is destroyed that we know of. 800 Pepperdine University students had to shelter in place, and homes and structures are still threatened. LA County's fire chief not releasing the specific cause for this fire, but he was pointing to climate change as a reason for the wildfire activity this year.
I certainly think that global warming is impacting wildfire throughout the United States, and it's making it even more challenging for fire departments to respond to wildfire.
A police car was also damaged. Authorities say the deputy, thankfully, was not hurt. Obviously, a very scary situation, especially for all of those students. I mean, my gosh.
Right. And this is all around that ridge of high pressure. It's been keeping us in areas of dense fog, hazy conditions, and also poor air quality. Now, an active weather pattern is going to develop. That's going to change our conditions, not only for the valley, but also in the mountains with periods of heavy rain. You can see the rundown here. Tomorrow morning, frost and fog and mostly cloudy skies. A quick moving first system overnight Wednesday into Thursday. A chance of lingering showers on Friday, but the big weather impact day is going to be on Saturday. Periods of heavy rain and snow levels at about 5,000 to 6,000 feet. Tomorrow we'll start it off once again with reduced visibility, especially through the San Joaquin Valley in that Highway 99 I-5 corridor. That will start to erode, but it's quickly replaced by mostly cloudy skies with the incoming system that will bring us our first chance of rain. Winter weather advisory goes into place tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. takes us through Thursday. You can see how the rain will start to approach the coast by late tomorrow evening through early Thursday. But by the morning commute, most of us are already starting to dry out for the valley, but snow will linger for the Sierra. Periods of isolated shower activity through our Thursday, but then everything starts to dry out until we get to that next band of wet weather. You can see it's on the approach, right in line with kind of the parade of storms moving through the Pacific that are going to be hitting us all the way into early next week before we start to dry out. Highs for tomorrow in the 40s for the Sierra with 50s to near 60 for the foothills. Along the coast, we're in the 50s and 60s. We'll see that as well represented throughout the valley. After morning lows in the 30s, patchy frost and fog. Then the active weather pattern begins on Thursday. It'll take us through the weekend and into early next week as well. So we'll call for that weather impact alert day on Saturday. Beyond that, more showers expected into early next week.
All right, Monica, thank you so much. Next on To the Point, more funding approved for the Delta Tunnel project, what this means for water in our region. Plus, Trump's cabinet picks on Capitol Hill, what senators are now saying about possible confirmations. Tonight, Sacramento police are investigating an uptick in parking and meter theft and vandalism, costing the city thousands of dollars. They say arrests have been made in connection with several cases, but they are still asking the community to stay vigilant. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias reports.
In Old Sacramento, people using the parking meters often face challenges.
It's hard enough to find parking, and it's nice that it's during the day, but in the evenings it's certainly harder. But yeah, when you do find a spot and then the meter doesn't work, it makes it doubly hard.
Sometimes I don't see anything on the screen, and so I get nervous about paying it.
Sacramento police say since October this year, the city has experienced what they call a troubling wave of parking meter vandalism. They found close to 1,400 meters have been damaged, with $15,000 in stolen revenue. It's also resulted in $400,000 in repairs, which comes from taxpayers' money.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but we see it all the time, right? Like there's vandalism, people's cars are broken into. I don't know the technology behind the meters, but you would think there would be something also that could be done to maybe prevent that.
Stacy Knight, a mother of 4, says taxpayers are already paying for enough, and she wants the city to find a different fix.
It does suck that taxpayers would have to be responsible for this. I say just get rid of them. I think for a lot of families it is a burden. It may limit people coming and parking here, but it is a burden and we're losing out on money, and I just don't think it's really necessary.
But Phil Pluckybaum says there is a benefit to having the parking meters which regulate parking. He's the newest city council member being sworn in Tuesday night and will be overseeing District 4, including Old Sacramento and downtown. He says there's concern about the cost the city is having to pay, and finding a solution to this problem is a priority. Police now want people to stay vigilant and watch for anyone tampering with parking meters, especially during the late night or early morning hours, or any suspicious behavior around parking meters or any part of the city. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
And of course, the city is encouraging people to report any vandalism to 311. They say if the meter is still accepting card payments or payments through that app, that people should complete their transactions. Otherwise, the citation could still be issued for non-payment. A local business is looking for answers after a rock was thrown through their window. This happened just on Sunday at the Chubby Cupboard Pasta Shop out in Carmichael, which is a queer-owned business. Witnesses said that they saw 2 teenage boys running down the street, but they were not captured on any cameras. The owners tell us they believe they were a target because of their pride flag in the window. The sheriff's office tells us they are investigating. Big water news tonight across the state. In Colusa County today, Governor Gavin Newsom spoke about the site's reservoir project and the jobs that it will bring. The nearly $4 billion project is part of the state's goal of expanding above and below groundwater storage. When it's completed, it is expected to hold enough water for 3 million households. The governor says it will be crucial during California's drier years.
All of this was around addressing numeric goals. And one of the numeric goals is 4.1 million acre feet of groundwater, and managing these extreme flows and getting that water pumped in a responsible way and working with local water agencies.
The state also announced a new dashboard to help boost groundwater recharge efforts and reduce permitting times to make it easier for water districts to pursue recharge opportunities. Tonight, the state's largest water supplier approved more funding for the Delta Conveyance Project, also known as the Delta Tunnel. The 38-member Water Board in Southern California approved more than $140 million for pre-construction costs in what's been a very heated debate. Delta residents argue that the project will hurt the environment, while others say the project will help protect Southern California's economy. So take a look. This is where the $20 billion tunnel would be if eventually approved. There would be water intake spots just south of Clarksburg. The underground tunnel would run all the way down to the California Aqueduct near Tracy and Mountain House. Now, the ABC 10 Weather Impact team took a closer look at the Delta Conveyance Project in their Emmy-winning series called Water Wasted. It is on the homepage of our ABC 10 Plus streaming app. Just look for Water Wasted on the home screen, and that app is available wherever you stream. Turning now to the Trump transition, the president-elect's cabinet picks are on Capitol Hill this week, speaking with senators as they lobby for confirmation support. Sources tell ABC News Trump's team has been closely watching where female Republican senators stand on Pete Hegseth, Trump's pick for defense secretary, saying one of those senators appears to be softening her stance. Today, President-elect Trump's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appears to be gaining momentum toward confirmation.
So he's much better off this week than he was last week.
The former Fox News host today on Capitol Hill sitting down with Texas Senator John Cornyn.
I will support Pete Hegseth, as I always say, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Hegseth meeting with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst for a second time yesterday. She is a combat veteran and survivor of sexual assault.
I would never speak for Senator Ernst.
And I know
I appreciate the time. It was an amazing conversation.
Ernst apparently softening her stance on Hegseth.
I'm supporting the process.
It appears the female Republican senators control Hegseth's fate, and every meeting with them will matter, including the one today with Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski.
Looking forward to a great conversation.
Hegseth settled an accusation of sexual assault, an allegation he denies, and has questioned whether female soldiers should be in combat.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
Hegseth on Fox News last night saying he wanted to clarify his comments.
Some of our greatest warriors, our best warriors out there are women who serve, raise their right hand to defend this country and love our nation.
Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal accuses Trump of pressuring Republicans to confirm.
If the fear of Donald Trump and his potential retribution were less, there's no question that this nomination would go down and go down heavily.
And Trump's nominee for FBI Director Kash Patel had his own meetings with lawmakers today, including with Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma. Mullin says that he is confident that Patel will get confirmed. Meantime, tonight, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now vowing that if President-elect Trump follows through on his proposed 25% tariffs against Canada, they would retaliate with their own set of tariffs. The U.S. and Canada have one of the world's largest trading relationships at nearly $1 trillion a year. Trump has appeared to double down on that promise during an interview with NBC News, claiming that the U.S. is, quote, subsidizing countries all over the world, including Canada. Next, on to the point, fighting to retain teachers, the new tool that one Sacramento school district is using. ABC 10 and Wells Fargo are teaming up for the 5th annual Stand Against Hunger to help feed people in need this holiday season. The Stand Against Hunger campaign is raising money for 7 local food banks. For a list of participating food banks and also how you can help, go to abc10.com/standagainsthunger. School districts across Northern California are fighting to hire and retain quality teachers, but there's a new tool for one district to do just that. Twin Rivers Unified School District today announced its workforce housing project, and the goal is to provide below market price housing for district employees. It would be built at a district-owned site along Chuckwagon Drive in Sacramento. Many district workers live in more affordable areas, sometimes, of course, leading to longer commutes and making it harder for districts to retain staff. Twin Rivers says it hopes the lower price rentals will allow staff to build their savings and be better positioned to buy a home in the future. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. It feels good to be back. I took some time off last week, but I missed everyone. So if you have something that you think we should be looking into, I am back. Reach out to the team. And always remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. So take the time to get to know someone today. And to the point, it does not end here. To watch stories that are featured on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.